Then there was James Polk, who died far too young at 53 years old. And it's because 3 months after leaving office, he was on a tour of the South where he contracted cholera, a nasty disease that gives you explosive diarrhea. But despite the circumstances, he went out as a romantic, with his last words to his wife being, "I love you, Sarah. For all eternity, I love you." I'm not crying, you're crying. But for this next president, you might be laughing, because Zachary Taylor died from eating too many cherries and drinking too much milk. Or did he? During a 4th of July celebration in the sweltering heat of DC, Zachary Taylor desperately needed to cool off. So he ran into the White House, ate a bowl of raw cherries, and drank several glasses of milk. The problem was, food safety was basically non-existent back then, and Taylor came down with gastroenteritis and died 3 days later. However, many believe Zachary Taylor was poisoned, because he was the current president when this went down, and pre-Civil War tensions were rising. But when forensic scientists looked at his body in the 90s, they found nothing fishy. So it really was just some bad cherries. And before he died, Taylor said, "I'm about to die. I expect the summons soon. I've tried to discharge my duties faithfully. I regret nothing." And after death by cherries, VP Millard Fillmore stepped up to the plate. And unlike Taylor, Fillmore lived a long time after his presidency, until he had a stroke. But right before he died, someone gave him soup. And Fillmore said, "The nourishment is palatable," which basically means in fancy talk, it tastes good. 5 stars for the soup. But our next president had one of the saddest deaths ever. Just weeks before taking office, Franklin Pierce's son was killed in a horrific train accident. And this sent Pierce on a downward spiral of depression. He started drinking too much, became an alcoholic, and destroyed his liver with a disease called cirrhosis. He died after losing re-election, and nobody wrote down his last words because he was all alone. Dang, that's sad. And unfortunately, the downward spiral of America continued with the next president, James Buchanan, who many view as one of the worst presidents because the Civil War was coming and he did nothing to stop it. Buchanan died of a bad respiratory infection, although some believe he fell victim to the mysterious National Hotel Disease outbreak. But that's just rumors. He went out proclaiming, "O Lord God Almighty, as God wilt." But you know what they say, weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men.